UFC Fight Night, Rozenstruik versus Sakai, 14 fights on the entire fight card. The main event in a heavyweight fight, Jairzinho, Biggie Boy Rozenstruik, and Augusto Sakai. The co-main event, Walt Harris and Marcin Tybura. Roman Dolidze and Loreno Serapoli in a middleweight fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio and Miguel Baeza in a welterweight fight. Dusko Todorovic and Gregory Rodriguez in a middleweight fight. Tom Breeze and Antonio Arroyo in a middleweight fight. Camuel Leclerc and Makwan Amirkhani in a featherweight fight. Montana De La Rosa and Ariane Lipsky in a women's flyweight fight. Tanner Boser and Lalir Latifi in a heavyweight fight. Francisco Trinaldo and Muslim Salikov in a welterweight fight. Alan Patrick and Mason Jones in a lightweight fight. Only one fight getting switched around in the last couple of days, with Manny Fiorot now fighting Tabitha Ricci right here. Was supposed to fight, let's see, Marina Moroz. I did have Manny Fiorot winning that fight by TKO in the second or third round, but now she's fighting Tabitha Ricci, which is going to be a step down in competition, even though you see 5 wins, 0 losses. All those wins were against bums, so this should be a much easier fight for Manny Fiorot right there, but that should be a really, really good flyweight fight right there. Then we got Youssef Zalal and Sean Woodson in the featherweight division, and then we got Claudio Puelles and Jordan Leavitt in the first fight on the fight card in a lightweight fight. Yeah, we got some good fights on the fight card. 14 fights on the entire fight card, with 3 heavyweight fights, lots of middleweight fights, lots of welterweight fights as well. So this should be a very interesting fight card. I expect at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 fights to be finishes. Possibly this first fight on the fight card as well. But all these fights are going to be really, really good. But let's get into our first fight on the fight card right here. This fight is in the lightweight division right here. Claudio Puelles and Jordan Leavitt in the lightweight division. Claudio Puelles, 9 wins and 2 losses, 25 years old, a little bit taller, a little bit more lengthy, which will help him in the striking game. But if you guys know anything about Claudio Puelles and Jordan Leavitt, mainly they're going to look to get the fight down, takedown, ground and pound, and look for the submission or ground and pound TKO win. And that's pretty much both fighters' style right here. But in this fight, I kind of would say that Claudio Puelles will have a slight striking advantage, a little bit faster. I mean, Jordan Leavitt really doesn't have much of a striking background, to be honest. So Claudio Puelles, with that reach, with that height as well, with the speed, with a little bit of a power advantage, because Jordan Leavitt really has no power, he'll probably have the advantage on the feet, and the grappling and wrestling advantage probably is going to go to the undefeated lightweight right here in Jordan Leavitt. But Claudio, keep the fight on the feet, at range, use the height, use the reach and everything like that, and try to get a decision win in the striking game. Jordan Leavitt, wrestle, grapple, and ground and pound, the main game plan for him to win the fight right here, with 8 wins and 0 losses. A little bit smaller, a little bit less of a reach, so obviously he's going to want to get the fight to the ground, to the mat, and wrestle, ground and pound, and look for the submission eventually on the ground as well. But first round, a slam knockout win in literally 22 seconds on Matt Weeman. A first round arm triangle, second round anaconda, heel hook, arm triangle, and then another submission win right there. 5 submission wins, 1 knockout win from that crazy slam on Matt Weeman, and then 2 decisions right there. But the main way I see Jordan Leavitt finishing the fight would be by submission. I kind of think the fight will go all the way. I don't know why there's 90% going Leavitt. I think the main way that both fighters will win the fight would be by decision. There's obviously a very good possibility that Jordan Leavitt goes out there, gets his submission. Good possibility Claudio Puelles goes out there and gets his submission. But I think this fight will go all the way. If Claudio Puelles keep the fight on the feet, defends whatever takedowns come his way, probably is going to win the fight by decision. If Jordan Leavitt gets the fight down, lands the takedowns, gets on top, in mount, in side control, possibly gets a submission, but most likely, in my opinion, will win the fight by decision. So, honestly, this is a pretty good fight in the lightweight division, but I'm sort of leaning towards Jordan Leavitt, not just because I'm looking at the odds right here. It's just his wrestling and grappling so far on Dana White's Contender Series and inside the UFC has looked really, really good. Claudio Puelles is going to want to get the fight on the feet. I think he'll have a slight grappling, wrestling, and ground and pounding disadvantage right here. So keep the fight on the feet, defend the takedowns, and most likely you will win. Jordan Leavitt, takedown, ground and pound, side control or full mount, and look for the submission. probably an arm triangle or another anaconda choke submission, something like that. But that's the main way I see both fighters winning right here. The betting odds at minus 200 for Jordan Leavitt and then plus 160 for Claudio Puelles. If you're going to be betting on this fight, I mean, all you really got to do, if you're going to be betting on Claudio Puelles, I don't necessarily think he will get the finish. I think there's a very good possibility that Jordan Leavitt gets the finish, but if Claudio Puelles ends up winning the fight, I think it would be a decision win. So if you are confident in Puelles winning the fight right here, I probably go Puelles by decision, which is some really good value at plus 415, 4-1 odds right there. I think that's the main way he will win the fight if he does win the fight right here. The main way I see Leavitt winning the fight, probably either going to be by submission or decision. Pretty 50-50 on if he's going to get that submission or if he's going to win the fight by decision, but Leavitt winning by decision plus 350, which is very, very interesting. Personally, I do think the fight will go all the way, and one of these two guys will win by decision, but either way, we got some really good odds on one of those two fighters winning by decision at plus 415 and plus 350 right there. So, I think for this fight, either way, if you're going to be betting on either one of them, there's not really much value in Jordan Leavitt by submission, not really too much value in Claudio winning by submission. So if you're going to be betting on the fight, just say Jordan Leavitt by decision or Claudio Puelles by decision. But I think there's a good chance Jordan Leavitt just goes out there, takedown, gets on top and just ground and pounds, and looks for the submission, just does not get the submission with the grappling and wrestling background that Claudio Puelles does have. So I think he'll defend whatever submissions come his way. And overall, my prediction for the first fight on the fight card in the lightweight division, I got Jordan Leavitt going out there, takedown, ground and pound, possibly getting an arm triangle, possibly getting an anaconda, something like that. But I think the fight will go all the way, and Jordan Leavitt will win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision right there. Should be a really, really good fight in the lightweight division right there. Youssef Zalal and Sean Woodson right here. Youssef Zalal is going to have a humongous reach and a height disadvantage right here. You look at Sean Woodson, I really don't know how he's so tall for the featherweight division to be 6'2" tall and having an incredible reach of 79 inches. That is just unheard of for the featherweight division. Super long, super lengthy for this featherweight division right here. Needs to keep the fight on the feet at range. 1-2 jabs, leg kicks, body kicks, everything like that. Keep the fight at range and defend whatever takedowns come his way. That's the main way I see Sean Woodson winning the fight, mainly by decision. Youssef Zalal, 24 and a half years old, much smaller, much less of a reach right there, but his main way of winning the fight would be in the grappling and wrestling game. He does have some very, very good Muay Thai skills, some pretty good striking. So in this fight, I expect Youssef Zalal to try and pressure this fight a lot to the back of the cage, get Sean Woodson to the back of the cage, and kind of use that Muay Thai to land some elbows, to land some knees, and ultimately try and get the double leg takedown, get the fight down on top of Sean Woodson, and use the wrestling, use the grappling en route to a decision or possibly even a submission win, which he does have 5 of in his professional MMA career. So for this fight with Youssef Zalal and Sean Woodson, there are 2 real clear paths for Youssef Zalal and Sean Woodson to win. Sean Woodson, defend the takedowns, keep the fight at range, jab 1-2, over and over again, and with some leg kicks as well. Youssef Zalal, pressure, clinch, knees to the body, elbows in the clinch as well, land some takedowns, get some ground and pound as well, en route to a decision win. Those are the main ways I see both fighters winning right here, but it's a close one. I don't necessarily think that Sean Woodson should be a 2-1 favorite. The betting odds are right now. Let's see if I can find them. The betting odds, where are they, man? Okay, so minus 170, that's a little bit more like it, but if you're looking at any odds on Sean Woodson, anything over minus 200, that is absolutely insane. Minus 170 seems pretty realistic, but I think this fight is honestly a much closer fight than people think, because all it really takes is 1 or 2 takedowns from Youssef Zalal to win this fight. He needs to get the fight down, and if he does, I think he will win the fight. The only loss from Sean Woodson did come by submission to Julian Erosa by Dart choke submission. Before that, with Terrence McKinney, he was losing the fight. He got taken down multiple times in that fight, so his main weakness would be the wrestling and grappling. I don't agree with the odds. I don't think he should be a 2-1 favorite, even a minus 170 favorite. I think those odds should be a little bit scrunched down, but if you're going to be betting on Youssef Zalal as the underdog, I think that would be a pretty decent bet. Plus 162 honestly is not too bad, but you kind of missed a little bit of the value as it was just a couple of days ago at plus 210. So the value has kind of escaped us in the last couple of days, but yeah, I probably stay away from this one. I think Sean Woodson should win the fight because he's much taller, much lengthier, much better striking at range, jab, 1-2, leg kicks, everything like that. But I just can't help but think uses the law and he's going to use a really big wrestling, grappling based game plan right here and get the fight down and win a decision. I think that's a very good possibility. So this is one of those I'm not really too comfortable actually putting a bet on either Sean Woodson or Yusuf Zalal. I'm very slightly going Sean Woodson to win the fight. Personally, I think it should be like a minus 135, minus 125, really slight favorite. I don't think it should be anything near a 2-1 favorite, but my prediction would be Sean Woodson to defend the takedowns, keep the fight at range, the 1-2 jab, leg kicks as well, and just defend all the takedowns. So again, I probably wouldn't bet on either fighter here. It's just it's too risky of a bet right here. And if you're gonna be betting on Yusuf Zalal, the odds have kind of sailed away. They were at plus 210 a couple of days ago, so those odds are kind of lost at plus 150 right now. But should be a pretty good fight in the featherweight division. I am going to be going towards Sean Woodson to win the fight by 29 and 28 unanimous decision. But should be a really good fight in the featherweight division right there. Manon Fiorot and Tabitha Ricci. I'm gonna say it right now. I got Manon Fiorot winning this fight by TKO or knockout in the first or second round. The girl's got a lot of power in her hands, and you look right here with the reach and with the height. It is absolutely insane. 6 inches taller and a 4-inch reach advantage right there. Not to mention the power that Manon Fiorot possesses in her hands and feet, with 6 wins and 1 loss, with 2 exhibition bouts, totaling her wins by knockout to 6 KO, TKO wins, and 2 decision wins. Really good boxing, really good kickboxing, amazing volume, amazing pressure. I love everything about the striking from Manon Fiorot. Really good takedown defense as well. This is a short notice fight for Tabitha Ricci. She was not supposed to be fighting in this fight right here, but in her last fight with Shauna Ormsby, that was in the strawweight division, so she's going to be much smaller in terms of size, in terms of height, in terms of reach. I mean, obviously right here, you see that incredible height and reach disadvantage right there. Also, not to mention, these 5 wins, 0 losses have kind of been against bums. 2 wins, 4 losses, 1 win, 6 losses, 0 and 1, 1 3 and 1, and 0 and 1. So she's not really fighting the best competition. Whereas Manon Fiorot right here, 8 and 3, 6 and 2, alright, 2 and 3, and then 5 and 4, and then 4 and 2 right there. A much better competition that she's been fighting, and she's been doing really good in those fights. So I think this fight, Tabitha Ricci needs to get the fight to the mat ASAP, or she's gonna lose the fight by KO or TKO in the first or second round. But really good BJJ needs to get the fight down. I did a lot of research on her opponent, who is supposed to be the opponent, in Marina Moroz right there. You see right there, armbar. That's pretty much the whole game of Marina Moroz. A lot of armbar submission. So Marina Moroz, a similar style to Tabitha Ricci, wants to get the fight to the ground and get the submission in the first or second round. I honestly think Marina Moroz is a better grappler than Tabitha Ricci, to be honest. So and this is a pretty simple prediction because I did have Manon Fiorot beating Marina Moroz, so I'm probably going to be going towards Manon Fiorot to win this fight as well. I think this is a perfect parlay piece. I wouldn't be too confident. I might not go Manon Fiorot by just straight up Manon Fiorot at minus 446 or minus 500 where the odds are right now. That's just not enough value for me. I probably wait till the prop bets come out where they have Manon Fiorot winning the fight by KO, TKO, or maybe they got Tabitha Ricci by submission, where those odds would probably skyrocket up like plus 1,000, plus 1,500. But ultimately, Tabitha Ricci either is going to win the fight by submission, or Manon Fiorot will win the fight by KO, TKO. So if you're going to be betting on this fight, just wait for the prop bets to come out and put a TKO or knockout bet on Manon Fiorot to win that fight right there. But ultimately, my prediction would be Manon Fiorot to go out there, pressure the heck out of Tabitha Ricci, defend whatever takedowns come her way, just throw a lot of volume, a lot of pressure, and just light her up on the feet. Eventually, I think she will land a big right hand and put Tabitha Ricci down. So my prediction right here for Manon Fiorot and Tabitha Ricci will be Manon Fiorot winning the fight by KO or TKO in the first or second round right there. This should be a really good fight in the women's flyweight division. Alan Patrick and Mason Jones in the lightweight division. Mason Jones with 10 wins and 1 one loss, 26 years old, a little bit less tall and a little bit less of a reach, but that height and reach disadvantage against Alan Patrick will not matter. The man has a lot of power in his hands. First knockout win, first knockout win, first round knockout win, all of these wins by knockout in the first and second round right there. 4 knockout wins, so 3 submission wins, and 3 decision wins. I think there's a very, very good possibility that Mason Jones wins the fight by knockout. Alan Patrick does not want any of the smoke on the feet. I think he'll get absolutely pieced up in the striking game. 15 wins and 3 losses right there. 4 knockout wins, 2 submission wins, and 9 decision wins, with most of those knockout wins due to ground and pound shots as well. So this fight, Alan Patrick, get the fight to the ground ASAP. If that doesn't happen, I'm sorry to say, Mason Jones is going to knock you out with a big right hand, or he's going to dominate you on the feet, do exactly what Bobby Green just did, dominate you on the feet and win the fight by a dominant unanimous decision win right there. Pretty much one of those two things is going to happen. Alan Patrick has some pretty good wrestling. I believe he averages 3.5 takedowns per fight inside the UFC, which is very, very solid. So takedown, ground and pound. Do not strike with Mason Jones. You will lose the fight if you strike with Mason Jones. So do not strike with Mason Jones. Go for the takedown, get the fight down, ground and pound, and look for the submission, or just look for control on the ground, something like that. Alan Patrick, do not strike, man. If you strike, you will lose the fight. Mason Jones, keep the fight on the feet, get the knockout, get the TKO win at range. 1-2, big right hands, big leg kicks, body kicks as well. Everything like that. I mean, he has much, much better striking. Really good knees and elbows in the clinch as well. So this fight, I'm gonna go Mason Jones. Obviously, I'm not just looking at the odds right here. I'm gonna go Mason Jones. His striking way, way better than Alan Patrick's. Alan needs to get this fight to the ground as soon as possible. And Mason Jones, I'm not sure what his takedown defense is, but I believe it was around 75 or 80%, something like that. So I think the fight ultimately will stay on the feet. Again, this could be one of those situations where you have a really, really big favorite, and then Alan Patrick just goes out there and lays on Mason Jones on the ground for 3 straight rounds for the decision win. So this would be one where I probably would, I honestly would stay away from putting him in a parlay. I think this one's a little bit too risky, because all Alan Patrick needs to do is get the fight down, get on top, and just lay there. That's pretty much all he needs to do. Get a little bit of ground and pound here and there as well. So ultimately, if you're going to go Alan Patrick to win the fight, I mean, it's probably some really, really good odds on him winning by decision. That'd be just absolutely insane odds right there. But Patrick by decision, plus 450. Honestly, not as good as I was expecting. But let's see, Mason Jones by decision, what would that be? So Mason Jones by knockout, plus 125. Interesting. Jones by decision, plus 225. That is my prediction right there. I think that'd be a decent bet. Doubling your money on Mason Jones winning that fight by decision. I think that's exactly what's going to happen right here. I think he's going to defend the takedowns, keep the fight on the feet, throw a lot of volume, a lot of pressure, and ultimately win the fight by an unanimous decision. I think that'd be an interesting bet on Mason Jones by decision with plus 200 odds, which honestly is really, really good in my opinion. So Alan Patrick and Mason Jones, my prediction, Mason Jones winning the fight in a dominant decision win in the striking game, defending the takedowns, and winning the fight by unanimous decision right there. Should be a really, really good fight in the lightweight division right there. Francisco Trinaldo and Muslim Salikov. Francisco Trinaldo, I really have no idea how this man is still fighting in the welterweight division as a top 30 fighter in the welterweight division at 42.5 years old. What in the world? What are you eating? What is in your Fruity Pebbles, bro? I have no idea what Francisco Trinaldo is consuming on a daily basis. What type of water? Where did he find his water? Where is he finding his food sources? I really have no idea. But he's 42.5 years old on a 3-fight win streak over Bobby Green, John McDessie, and Jai Herbert. Absolutely insane. Beat Paul Felder, Yancy Medeiros, Ron Pearson, all of these guys inside the UFC. Was on a 7-fight win streak, beating Paul Felder, fighting Kevin Lee, Michael Chiesa, Gleison Tibau, all these guys right here, and he's 42 years old. That is just absolutely insane. Both fighters right here with Muslim Salikov and Francisco Trinaldo are mainly going to be counter punchers. Like to say, I honestly think this is going to be a really boring fight. Definitely not going to be anywhere near the fight of the night because Francisco Trinaldo and Muslim Salikov like to stay back and kind of time their shots. Just stay back and counter or just come in and out over and over and over again. I don't see this fight being an exciting fight in the welterweight division. If I were you, I'd probably stay away from watching this fight. I think Muslim Salikov is going to win the fight. He does have 17 wins, 2 losses, a little bit more power than Francisco Trinaldo, a little bit more speed than Francisco Trinaldo as well, with 17 wins and 2 losses. Lots of power, 11 knockout wins, 3 submission wins, and 3 decision wins. Francisco Trinaldo, lots of finishes. You go way down here. 10 knockout wins, 12 decision wins, and then 5 submission wins right there. So most likely, I mean, if you look at it logically, and you look at just the statistics on Muslim Salikov and Francisco Trinaldo, most likely you would probably say one of these 2 guys is going to get the KO or TKO win in the first or second round, but to be honest, that's not going to happen. You got both fighters have a lot of power in their hands, so it's going to kind of force them. One of them is going to stay back. The other is also going to stay back, so it's going to kind of make them stay back, and neither one of them is really going to be moving forward because both of them are counter punchers, so I really see this being a very very boring fight with Muslim Salikov and Francisco Trinaldo. I think Muslim should do enough to win this fight right here. Lots of power, really good spinning back ace, and that's the thing I see him landing a lot in this fight. Francisco Trinaldo moves very linear, straight back and straight forward. Muslim Salikov, amazing spinning back kick. I mean, out of his 17 wins and 2 losses, let's see if I can find it. Spinning back knockout win in 18 seconds. 1 minute 4 seconds. Spinning back kick knockout win. Spinning heel kick knockout win in the very first round. The man's got a deadly spinning back kick to the body, to the face, whatever the case may be. And considering Francisco Trinaldo likes to move straight forward and straight back, not really much movement side to side, I think he's going to land that shot a lot in this fight. Francisco Trinaldo, his main punch that he's going to be landing would be straight left, and then the jab, the 1-2-1-2. Of course, with that straight left hand. Muslim Salikov, I think he's going to slip one of those left hands and let a big right hand down the pipe. I think he's going to time that perfectly a lot in this fight. At the beginning of the fight, Francisco will do a really good job at landing that straight left, but as the fight goes on, I think Muslim will kind of catch onto that straight left, kind of slip the left and go for a straight right, and that's going to land a lot of times in the fight. This is going to be a very technical, counter-punching type of fight right here. Don't expect much action. Don't expect a fight of the night, anything like that. This fight probably going to go all the way. Don't expect fireworks. 87% going Salikov, 13% going Trinaldo. The betting us having Muslim Salikov at minus 225. This is one I probably wouldn't bet on it, considering how close a fight it is and how technical of a fight it is on the feet right here. So and the fight will stay on the feet. Neither fighter will throw much volume on the feet, throw much pressure, much power, much speed, anything like that. Just gonna be a very technical striking affair right here, but I'm gonna go Muslim Salikov. It's not gonna be a fun fight, to be honest. I'm probably gonna go play some Xbox or something while this fight is taking place. So my prediction will be Muslim Salikov going out there, making this a technical fight, landing a lot of straight rights, a lot of body kicks, a lot of spinning back kicks to the body as well. So I'm not gonna be watching this fight. That's for sure. I'm gonna be skipping over from Alan Patrick, Mason Jones, all the way over to the heavyweight fight with Tanner Boser and Lilir Latifi. I'm not watching this fight right here, so I'm gonna go Muslim Salikov, but I'm not very confident right here because this ageless wonder Francisco Trinaldo pops out of nowhere sometimes, and 3 wins in a row on a 7-fight win streak, beat Paul Felder of all people. I really don't know. So this is a fight I definitely stay away from betting on it because you never know with the ageless wonder in Francisco Trinaldo right there. But my prediction very slightly 29-28 decision win for Muslim Salikov in the fight right there. Should be a decent fight in the welterweight division. Not really a good fight for the fans, but a good technical fight, I would say. So yeah, Muslim Salikov by 29-28. The unanimous decision right there. Tanner Boser and Lilir Latifi in the heavyweight division. Tanner Boser, 29, almost 30 years old, much taller, a little bit more lengthy than Lilir Latifi is right there. But in this fight, stay at range, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, body kicks, leg kicks. That's pretty much all Tanner Boser needs to do in this fight. But do not get taken down from Lilir Latifi. I think that's going to be the main game plan for Lilir Latifi right here. Take down, wrestle, and ground and pound. ground and pound, 14 wins and 8 losses. Much older than Tanner Boser at 37, almost 38 years old right there. So in the striking game, I'll give the slight power and speed advantage to Tanner Boser right there, along with the reach and height advantage. So if the fight does stay on the feet, Tanner Boser should win the fight in a dominant decision win, or maybe land a big right hand and get the KO TKO win. Ilir Latifi in the grappling and wrestling game will have the advantage with 14 wins and 8 losses. Standing guillotine right there, knockout win, guillotine again, and then a lot of other knockout wins right there, but 5 KO TKO wins, 5 submission wins, and 4 decision wins. So for this fight, Ilir Latifi, takedown, get on top in a side control, landing a lot of good ground and pound shots, and look for the arm triangle, look for the rear naked, look for maybe another guillotine, I really don't know, but ultimately look to get the fight to the mat where you do have the advantage. Tanner Boser looked to defend those takedowns and not get to the mat where you have the disadvantage. So this is one of those fights where if they get the fight where they want the fight to be, if Ilir Latifi gets the takedowns, he will win the fight by ground and pound TKO, maybe a submission or a dominant decision win. If Tanner Boser keeps the fight on the feet, defends the takedowns, he will win the fight by any dominant decision win or a big right hand knockout win. It's pretty much that simple, but there's a lot of things that could happen right here. Ilir Latifi, if he gets on top and just can't get the takedowns in the second and third round, that could tire Tanner Boser out in the grappling and wrestling game. And Ilir Latifi has a big right hand as well. Could get the knockout on the feet. That is definitely a possibility. But for this fight with Tanner Boser and Ilir Latifi, I think the fight is actually going to go all the way. Tanner Boser has a lot of power. Ilir Latifi also has a lot of power on the feet and with his ground and pound shots as well. But I do think the fight will go all the way, even though they both have a lot of power in their hands. I think Tanner Boser is gonna go in and out, over and over again. Use his jab, use his straight right hand, use his leg case, his body case as well. Use his height, use his reach, use his speed, use his power. Pretty much use all of his advantages in the striking game and defend the takedowns. En route to most likely a decision win. Good possibility we see a knockout or a TKO win, but I think this fight will go all the way. So my prediction would be Tanner Boser by unanimous decision right there. Honestly, not the worst odds, especially where they started at minus 246. Much better than at the start at minus 186 right there. But the thing I'm going to be looking at would be the prop bet. So fight going to decision and fight not going to decision, really 50-50. I do think the fight will go all the way right here. So Boser by decision. Let's see if I can find that. Is it like way down here? I really don't know where that is. Boser by decision plus 187. That'd be the only real bet that I'd probably be placing for this fight. It would be a prop bet on Boser winning by decision. Yeah, that's probably the only bet I'm going to be making right there. So my prediction, Tanner Boser going out there, keeping the fight on the feet, defending the takedowns, keeping the fight at range, going in and out, landing the jab, the 1-2, the outside leg case, the body case as well, on route to a dominant decision win right there. And the betting odds up plus 187. Honestly, not too bad. So that'd be the only real bet I would look at for Tanner Boser and Ilir Latifi right there. It should be a really good fight in the heavyweight division. Montana De La Rosa and Ariane Lipski in the flyweight division right here. Montana De La Rosa, 11 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. 26 years old, a little bit taller, a little bit lengthier than Ariane Lipski as well. This is the craziest thing. 61% of the vote going Lipski to win the fight, mainly by decision, and then a lot of people have her winning the fight by submission. 39% going De La Rosa, mainly by decision, and then again, a lot of people have her winning the fight by submission. But Montana De La Rosa is a minus 260 favorite. I hate the odds right there, minus 260, minus 250, whatever the odds are. Anything above like a 2-1 favorite is absolutely ridiculous for this fight with Montana De La Rosa and Ariane Lipski. There's no way I'm putting Montana in a parlay. There's no chance. But if you're going to be betting on the fight and you do have the underdog in Ariane Lipski winning the fight, she already has the underdog odds right there at plus 241. Insane odds right there. So why not add a little bit better odds for Lipski winning the fight by decision at plus 340 right there. So that's the only real bet I'd make on the fight would be Lipski by decision at plus 340. But again, I hate the odds right here. They're absolutely horrendous. But Montana De La Rosa needs to get the fight to the mat ASAP. 11 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw right there. 9 submission wins and 3 decision wins. Obviously, she wants to fight down, wants to get the armbar, wants to get the rear naked. Lots of armbars, a lot of rear nakeds as well. So takedown, takedown, side control, get into mount, try to land a lot of ground and pound, get the rear naked, get the armbar, get an arm triangle, just try to land some sort of submission. That's pretty much what Montana De La Rosa will be doing in the fight right here. Ariane Lipski, keep the fight on the feet, defend the takedowns, and most likely you will win the fight. 13 wins and 6 losses right there. Also has a decent grappling game with 3 submission wins, 4 decision wins, and 6 knockout wins. So a pretty good striking game as well. Body kick knockout win, second round knockout win, first round knockout win, first round knockout win, first round knockout win, first round knockout win. Lots of power in Ariane Lipski's hands. So keep the fight on the feet at range and let a lot of good shots. I think Montana De La Rosa needs to get the fight to the mat. If she does not, there's a good chance Ariane Lipski goes out there and wins the fight by KO or TKO. But most likely, Montana De La Rosa eventually will get the fight down. Use that wrestling, use that grappling, get on top, and land the ground pound as well. So, my prediction is going towards Montana De La Rosa. Personally, I think the odds should be around -165, -170. Definitely nowhere near -270. That is just absolutely insane. My prediction is going to go towards Montana De La Rosa to use her wrestling and grappling, get the fight down. Maybe, just maybe get the submission win, but considering the grappling defense for Ariane Lipski, I don't think we'll see a finish right here. So ultimately, I think Montana De La Rosa takedown over and over again en route to a dominant decision win right there. Again, do not bet on Montana De La Rosa. These odds are absolutely horrendous. If you're going to be betting on the fight, considering the fight is much closer than the odds that do project, the only real bet I would make for this fight would be Ariane Lipski winning the fight by decision. I believe that was around +370 or +380, something like that. Let's review what it was. Let's see, Lipski by decision, +350, so not really the worst odds right there. +350, +340 would be the only real bet I would make on this fight with Ariane Lipski and then Montana De La Rosa right there. Again, if you guys need to pause the video, you could look right here. This is all the research I did on Montana De La Rosa and Ariane Lipski, but I kind of want to put a small bet on Ariane Lipski to win the fight, but my prediction ultimately will go towards Montana De La Rosa to get the takedowns, use the wrestling, use the grappling, and win the fight. Any decision win right there. Do not bet on Montana De La Rosa. Do not do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But yeah, that should be a really good flyweight fight. Again, I got Montana De La Rosa winning the fight by decision right there. It should be a really good fight in the flyweight division. Makwan Amirkhani and Kamwela Kirk in the featherweight division. Makwan Amirkhani, -300, a moderate favorite, 16 wins and 5 losses. The 22nd best featherweight fighter in the world, 32 and a half years old, same height, but way less of a reach than Kamwela Kirk. I'm going to say right now, if this fight stays on the feet, most likely Kamwela Kirk will win the fight by KO or TKO in the first or second round. Makwan Amirkhani, his striking does not impress me whatsoever. Get the fight to the mat ASAP or you're going to lose the fight. It's pretty much that simple in my opinion. But yeah, Kamwela Kirk, keep the fight on the feet. Defend whatever takedowns come your way. Use your boxing, use your K-boxing, your front kicks, your body kicks, your 1-2s, your right hooks, your overhands. All those weapons that you do have, including the submissions from the bottom. Really good triangles, really good guillotines as well. Use all of that stuff. You got a lot of power, a lot of good submission skills from the bottom as well. So in this fight, keep the fight on the feet. Do not grapple. Do not wrestle with Makwan Amirkhani because you will lose the fight. For Makwan Amirkhani, do not strike. Do not strike with Kamwela Kirk. You will lose the fight. So this fight pretty much comes down to where will the fight take place. If the fight takes place on the feet, Kamwela Kirk will win the fight. If the fight takes place on the mat or in the wrestling, in the grappling, in the ground pounding, everything like that, Makwan Amirkhani will win the fight. So just pretty much matters where will the fight take place between Makwan Amirkhani and Kamwela Kirk right there. If you want to pause the video, you could look at this right there, but ultimately I'm gonna go Makwan Amirkhani. I don't agree that the odds should be a 3-1 favorite on Makwan Amirkhani. I would not put Makwan in a parlay, especially at these odds right there at -300, considering the power that Kamwela Kirk does possess, and if he has legit really good takedown defense in this fight and can defend the takedowns coming his way from Makwan Amirkhani, Kamwela Kirk should win this fight, and he's at +225 right now. I think there's a good possibility he gets a knockout or a TKO win in the fight. But if you're going to be betting on Makwan Amirkhani and Kamwela Kirk, never mind. Whoa! Oh my god, Jesus, oh my god, guys. The odds just switched incredibly. The odds just a couple of minutes ago were at minus 280, and they literally just went, whoa, all the way up to minus 235. I did not know that. The odds just switched a lot. Minus 200 on Mako Murakami. I'd probably take that. I mean, the odds they're showing right here are minus 300. I would definitely not take that. But now that the odds are at minus 200 and minus 220, I might actually take that parlay piece right there for Mako Murakami. But if you're going Mako Murakami, there's no prop bets. Why are there no prop bets? But my prediction right here, Mako Murakami to wrestle, grapple, and grind a pound for 3 straight rounds. Possibly getting another arm triangle, possibly getting another anaconda. Has a lot of anacondas, has a lot of arm triangles as well. 11 submission wins, 4 decision wins, and 1 KO TKO win. Now that I know the odds are not minus 300 and instead are minus 200, those are much better odds. So maybe you put a submission win for Mako Murakami on the prop bet. Again, we don't even have any prop bets right now, so I don't know what those odds would be. But if they're anything around plus 200, plus 250, anything around that range for Mach 1 winning the fight by submission, I might take those odds. But even at minus 200 for a straight bet or a parlay piece for Mako Murakami at minus 200, honestly does not look too bad right there. But my prediction for Mako Murakami and Kamala Kirk is going to be Mako Murakami to go out there, takedown, ground and pound, and then eventually get side control, possibly get that submission. But I think the fight will go all the way, and Mako Murakami will win the fight in a decision win right there. Should be a really good fight in the featherweight division right there. Tom Breese and Antonio Arroyo in the middleweight division. Tom Breese, 12 wins and 3 losses, 29 and a half years old, same height and the same exact reach right there. Absolutely insane. Tom Breese has a lot of power in his hands. I believe only 1 fight going the distance with 1 decision win, 7 submission wins, and 4 knockout wins. You guys all, if you guys know anything about Tom Breese, the man's a striker, but you look right here. He's got submission skills as well. 7 submission wins right there and 4 knockout wins. So even on the ground, has some rear nakeds, has some triangles, a lot of triangles and rear nakeds on the ground with his grappling game right there. But ultimately, I think he's going to want to keep the fight on the feet, use his striking at range to go in and out, use the jab. I mean, he's got a powerful jab. I encourage you, look at the fight with Tom Breese and KB Bhullar. Jab to a hammer fist knockout win in the very first round. Absolutely insane. 1-2, 1-2, jab, 1-2, 1-2. Pretty much the main game plan right here. Keep the fight on the feet at range, and most likely he will win the fight by KO TKO or in a dominant decision win right there. Should be a really good fight. But Antonio Arroyo, 9 wins and 4 losses. Not necessarily a grappler, not necessarily a striker. Pretty much an all-around MMA fighter. 4 knockout wins, 4 submission wins, and only 1 fight. Again, going all the way. So this fight, both fighters combined in all of their wins, I believe 21 wins, only 2 fights going all the way, which kind of leads me to my prediction, which would be that one of these 2 guys, either Tom Breese winning by knockout or TKO in the first or second round, or Antonio Arroyo winning the fight by submission. This is the main ways I see both fighters winning the fight right here. But I think Tom Breese will have a slight striking advantage right here. Has some pretty good 1-2. Amazing jab and a really good right hand right down the pipe. Amazing takedown defense of 70%. Only getting taken down 0.75 times every single fight inside of the UFC. So I think ultimately he will keep the fight on the feet where he does have the advantage. Uses his counter left hands, his combinations against the cage. Use the jab, use the 1-2. Use the body kicks, the leg kicks as well. Ultimately trying to win the fight by decision or land one of those left hands or land one of those right hooks as well and get the knockout in the first or second round. A very good possibility right there. Antonio Arroyo, keep the fight even on the feet. Maybe implement more of a clinch-based game plan and land some takedowns every now and then as well. I think the wrestling and grappling for Antonio Arroyo is the main path to victory, considering the striking advantage that Tom Breese will have at range in the fight right here. So Antonio Arroyo, get the fight down. Keep the fight very even on the feet and end the rounds with a double leg takedown and some ground and pound as well. And I think that would be the main way for Antonio Arroyo to win the fight right there. But my prediction will be going towards Tom Breese to win the fight. He's definitely a finisher. 4 knockout wins and 7 submission wins and only 1 fight going all the way. So my prediction would be Antonio Arroyo moving forward, trying to get the fight to the clinch, trying to go for a double leg takedown, and Tom Breese lands a humongous right hand. I think he's going to get a knockout in this fight. So my prediction for this middleweight fight, on the first fight on the main card of UFC Fight Night, Rozenstruik versus Sakai, will be Tom Breeze going out there, landing a big right hand as Antonio Arroyo looks to get the fight to the clinch or land a double leg takedown, lands a big right hand and gets a KO or TKO win in the first or second round right there. This should be a really good fight in the middleweight division. Dusko Todorovic and Gregory Rodriguez. I'm going to say right now, I am hyped on Gregory Rodriguez. And I'm also going to say right now, I do have the underdog in Gregory Rodriguez winning this fight. A lot of you guys might be thinking I'm a little bit crazy. Dusko has 10 wins and 1 loss. Lots of power in his hands. Very lengthy as well. 10 wins, 1 loss. And Gregory is taking the fight on short notice. Dusko was supposed to fight Maki Vitolo, now getting a replacement fighter in Gregory Rodriguez, who literally just fought 2 weeks ago inside of the LFA for the middleweight belt. Absolutely insane, but I'm going Gregory Rodriguez. And here is why. Out of his 9 wins and 3 losses, he's shown some really good grappling skills. His main way at the beginning of his MMA career, get the fight down and get the submission with 4 submission wins, 4 knockout wins, and 1 decision wins, but armbar submission win, and then an armbar submission win again. So at the beginning of his career, a lot of grappling, a lot of wrestling. I think if he can keep the fight very even on the feet and implement a lot of takedowns, and implement that grappling, that he will have the advantage in this fight right here. He could win the fight by decision, but I don't think this fight's gonna go all the way. Both Dusko and Gregory Rodriguez, I believe, only have 1 fight going all the way on the record. Yeah, 1 decision win right there. So I'm expecting either Dusko to win the fight by knockout or Gregory to win the fight by KO or TKO right here. But Gregory, the man has a lot of power. His last 3 fights that he's won. First round body kick knockout win, second round knockout win. I believe it was an uppercut knockout win on Al Mataveo, and then a first round knockout win on Josh Fremd against the cage. That is the thing I like to think about. Against the cage. Al Mataveo, uppercut in the clinch against the cage. Josh Fremd, right hand, right cross, or right hook, one of the two, against the cage. All of these knockout wins are when his opponents are backed up right next to the cage. Dusko does not do good there. We watched the last fight with Punihiro Soriano, who has a lot of power, mind you. 8 wins, 0 losses, has a lot of power, 5 knockout wins. He did not do good against the cage. When he was actually backed up to the cage, and Dusko was like this, his hands were a little bit too low, and he ate a lot of strikes from Punihiro and ended up losing the fight by knockout in the very first round. That is what I see happening right here. We've already seen Gregory have really good success in the clinch, breaking the clinch, landing a big left hook and a straight right down the pipe, and maybe an uppercut in the clinch as well. So I think this is what's going to happen right here. I'm going to go with the underdog. After watching the last 2 fights inside of the LFA, it just kind of furthers my prediction right here for Gregory Rodriguez winning this fight by KO TKO in the first or second round. Obviously, Dusko has very good striking at range, but I think Gregory will pressure, throw a lot of volume, eventually get Dusko to his back to the cage, and throw a big right hand right down the pipe, because Dusko does not have the best head movement and does not have the best hand placement when he's striking defense. It's just not really too good. So I think Gregory will do exactly what Punihiro Soriano did, back Dusko to the cage and then a big right hand and win the fight by KO TKO in the first or second round right there. To be a really good fight in the middleweight division right there. This is going to be a really good fight in the welterweight division right here. Santiago Ponzinibbio and Miguel Baeza in the welterweight division. Santiago Ponzinibbio, 27 wins and 4 losses, 34 and a half years old. A little bit less in the height department, a little bit less in the reach department as well. The main way I see both fighters winning this fight, KO TKO. That's pretty much the main way both fighters will be winning right here. Santiago Ponzinibbio, the 14th best welterweight fighter in the world, before the loss of Jing Lian Li in 2018 to 2015. First knockout win, decision win, first knockout win, decision win, and a 4th round knockout win in a main event, beating Court McGee, Gunnar Nelson, Mike Perry, and Neil Magny. And before that, beating Sean Strickland. I believe he fought Leonardo Mafra as well. So he's got a lot of power in his hands. He look way down here. 17 knockout wins, 7 decision wins, and 6 submission wins. His last fight with Jing Lian Li, I don't know, man. He didn't look like Santiago Ponzinibbio. He did have a 3-year layoff. I mean, his last fight was in 2018 against Neil Magny. He did win the fight by 4th round knockout. Just got knocked out by Jinlian Lee pretty badly. I didn't like that one. He got knocked out with a straight left hook. In this fight right here, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna see the new and improved Santiago Ponzinibbio, or if we're gonna see the slow Ponzinibbio like we saw in the last fight with Jinlian Lee. He just didn't look too fast, and he didn't show the best head movement as well. And where I see him messing up in this fight, just like he did in his last fight with Jinlian Lee, would be when he's pressuring Miguel Baeza. Miguel Baeza, amazing when his back is to the cage, unlike another guy on the fight card in Dusko Todorovic right there. This guy right here, Miguel Baeza, really good against right when his back is to the cage. He's really good at landing a really good right cross and a left hook. Again, you see the last loss for Santiago Ponzinibbio coming by left hook knockout to Jinlian Lee right there. I think that's the main way that Miguel Baeza will win the fight by knockout, would be when Santiago Ponzinibbio goes forward, tries to get Miguel Baeza backed up where he can land his combinations, but he's going to throw a big shot and Miguel Baeza is going to counter with a left hook or a right cross. And that's the main way I see Miguel Baeza winning the fight right here. Both fighters are going to keep the fight on the feet. I don't really see how much wrestling, grappling, or ground and pound mixed into this fight at all. Miguel Baeza with 7 knockout wins, 1 submission win, and 2 decision wins. The fight will stay on the feet, and I think Miguel Baeza will be on the back foot. Santiago will be moving forward, and Miguel Baeza will look to counter with a left hook or the right cross, which I think will land in the fight. I think either way, whichever fighter will win the fight by knockout. My prediction overall will be Miguel Baeza winning the fight with a nice right cross right on the chin of Santiago Ponzinibbio, knocking him out in the second or third round. One of those two right there. But Santiago Ponzinibbio, I think he should retire after this fight. I know he was on a really good reign. 7 fights in a row, even winning a main event on Neil Magny, but I think his time is done. He's been looking a lot slower in his last couple of fights, and for this fight right here with Miguel Baeza and Santiago Ponzinibbio, I think he's going to get caught again. He's going to move forward, and he's going to make these same mistakes as last time with Jinlian Lee, moving forward and getting caught with a right cross or a left hook. So that's my prediction right there. Miguel Baeza winning the fight, like KO or TKO in the first or second round right there. It should be a really good fight in the welterweight division right there. Roman Dolidze and Loreno Serapoli in the middleweight division right here. Roman Dolidze, 8 wins and 1 loss, minus 140 on the betting odds right there. 32, almost 33 years old. The height advantage and the reach advantage right there. So in this fight, keep the fight at range and shoot in for the double leg takedown, get the fight down, and just wrestle, grapple, and control the fight on the ground. Don't go for the heel hooks. I swear to God, every single time Roman Dolidze has a fight inside of the UFC, he's going for freaking heel hooks. I don't understand. But he's done good so far. Heel hook submission win in the first round. Heel hook submission win in the first round. And his fight with Trevin Giles, that's why he lost the fight. He was going for the heel hook so tight, and he's thinking he's gonna get the heel hook, but Trevin Giles landing a really good ground and pound on Roman Dolidze while he's just, I gotta get the heel hook. Stop it, man. Stop going for the heel hook. If Roman Dolidze can go out there and just not tempt himself going for another heel hook, I swear to God, stop it with the heel hooks, Roman. I swear to God, bro. But if he can stop it with the heel hook submissions, and just go out there and wrestle and control Loreno Serapoli on the ground, on top with ground and pound, I think he should win the fight. Any dominant decision win right there. But he's really low fight IQ. I don't know, man. His fight IQ is really low, going for heel hooks when he doesn't really need to, and when he's not in the best position to actually finish the fight by heel hook. His fight IQ is really not too good. So I think in this fight, he needs to get the fight to the ground, not go for heel hooks, get on top, control the fight, and just ground and pound for the decision win right there. Loreno Serapoli, keep the fight on the feet, defend the takedowns, volume, and pressure, and a lot of really good takedown defense in the fight. 9 wins and 3 losses. I think he will lose the first round. I think Roman Dolidze will go out there, lay the takedown in the very first round, get the fight on top of Loreno Serapoli. Made a lot of good ground and pound shots, but in the second and third round, Loreno Serapoli is going to have a humongous advantage. You might be wondering, why will he have the advantage in the second and third round? Roman Dolidze's cardio is absolute bonkers, bro. His cardio is horrible, man. If the fight goes to the second, goes to the third, even if it goes to the 4th, 5th round, if he's gonna ever be in a 5-round main event, something like that, his cardio is horrible, man. So in this fight, the 2nd and 3rd round, personally, will go to Rozenstruik because Roman Dolidze is gonna tire himself out in the 1st round, going for those takedowns, going for the heel hook, I swear to God. But he's gonna tire himself out a lot in the very 1st round. So Rozenstruik, let the fight happen. Let Roman Dolidze use a lot of energy in the 1st round and come back in the 2nd and 3rd round with a lot of volume, a lot of pressure in the striking game. And ultimately try to use that striking to win the fight by decision right there. If you want to look at some of the notes I took on the fight right here, you guys can pause the video right here, but ultimately my prediction is going to go towards Rozenstruik. I just don't like the cardio. I don't like the fight IQ from Roman Dolidze, going from heel hooks. Why are you going from heel hooks, bro? I really don't understand, but he doesn't have the best cardio as well, so I think in this fight, Roman Dolidze will win the very 1st round, using the wrestling, using his size, using his size. I mean, I already said that, but using the size, using the width, I really don't know, but using the wrestling, grappling, everything like that, letting a lot of good ground and pound shots as well, winning the very 1st round, but in the 2nd and 3rd round, Lorena will come back with a really cardio deficient in Roman Dolidze right there, coming back in the 2nd and 3rd round, and winning those 2nd and 3rd round in the striking game. When you got Roman Dolidze just not having any cardio whatsoever, so my prediction is going to be the underdog in Rozenstruik winning this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision win right there. Should be a really good fight in the middleweight division right there. Again, I got the underdog in Rozenstruik winning the fight in the 2nd and 3rd round by 29-28 unanimous decision win right there. Should be a really good fight in the middleweight division right there. Walt Harris and Marcin Tybura in the heavyweight division in the co-main event. Marcin Tybura minus 165, 21 wins and 6 losses, a top 10 heavyweight fighter in the world. A little bit, a very small, but a little bit of an age advantage over Walt Harris right there. A little bit smaller, a little bit less of a reach than Walt Harris. Obviously, Walt Harris wants to get the fight on the feet. He is amazing boxing with the reach advantage, with the height advantage, and with the power advantage. 13 wins and 9 losses. You go way down here. Every single win, 13 wins, coming by KO or TKO. You already know what he's trying to do. Keep the fight on the feet, use the height, use the reach, and land a big 1-2, a big right hook, big left hook, land whatever. Just land a big powerful shot on the feet and get the knockout or TKO win in the 1st or 2nd round. His main weakness, it would be probably the wrestling and grappling. The fight with Alistair Overeem kind of sums up the main way I see Marcin Tybura winning the fight. In the fight with Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris, Walt Harris got taken down pretty easily, and Alistair Overeem got the back and just started landing a lot of ground and pound shots. That's the main way I see Marcin Tybura doing the exact same thing right here. With 21 wins and 6 losses, a lot of finishes as well. Wow, whoa, my God, 7 knockout wins, 7 submission wins, and 7 decision wins right there. Very spread out on how he's winning the fights, but I kind of see him trying to do the exact same thing he did with Greg Hardy. In the 1st round, he didn't really do too good. He wasn't able to land those takedowns, but in the 2nd round, Greg Hardy was gassed. So in this fight, Walt Harris, I think, will win the 1st round, going out there, going for broke, trying to do what he always does, and trying to get the knockout or TKO win in the 1st round. But he's going to use a lot of cardio in that 1st round, and Marcin Tybura is going to come back in the 2nd and 3rd round with the wrestling, just like he did against Greg Hardy in his last fight. So with his fight with Marcin Tybura and Walt Harris right here, Marcin Tybura will lose the 1st round, but Walt Harris will use a lot of cardio in that 1st round. So Marcin Tybura will come back in the 2nd and 3rd round and ground and pound and wrestle the heck out of Walt Harris, possibly getting the ground and pound TKO win or a dominant decision win on the ground, 29-28, winning the 2nd and 3rd round. So that's the main way I see both fighters win the fight. Walt Harris by knockout in the very 1st round, and Marcin Tybura winning the fight in the 2nd and 3rd round by 29-28, the unanimous decision or a 2nd round of ground and pound TKO. But ultimately, I think it's going to be a really close fight. Only one punch needs to land for Walt Harris right here, but I'm going to go Marcin Tybura to get the fight down in the 2nd and 3rd round, wrestle and ground and pound and wrestle and ground and pound and wrestle and ground and pound, ultimately winning the fight. A ground and pound TKO in the 2nd or 3rd round right there. This should be a really good fight in the heavyweight division right there. Jairzinho Biggie Boy Rozenstruik and Augusto Sakai in the heavyweight division. 5-round main event. Will the fight go all the 5 rounds? I really don't know. But both fighters have a lot of power in their hands. Big power advantage going to Jairzinho Rozenstruik, of course, with 11 wins and 2 losses, with 10 KO and TKO wins right there. Only one fight going the distance, which is just absolutely insane. But his only 2 losses to Francis Ngannou by first round knockout in 20 seconds. Oh my god, that was an insane fight right there, but I really don't see Augusto Sakai doing the Francis Ngannou strategy, going like, wah, and trying to get the knockout in the first round like that. That's going to be really, really dangerous, so I don't see that as a possibility for Jairzinho Rozenstruik losing the fight right here, but his main way of winning would be in the counter-punching game, with Augusto Sakai trying to fight to the clinch, and land some elbows, land some knees, land some right crosses as well. His main way of winning the fight would be when Augusto Sakai is moving forward to try to close the distance. Jairzinho needs to throw a big overhand right, a big right hook, or a big left hook. His left hook and his right hooks, so powerful, man. 11 wins, 2 losses. Right hook to ground and pound on Junior Dos Santos. Right cross on Alistair Overeem. Counter left hook on Andre Arlovski. A jab on Alan Crowder, absolutely insane, and an uppercut on Robert McCarthy right there. His main way of winning the fight would be a right hook, right cross, or a counter left hook. One of those 3 things are the main way I see him winning the fight. But all 3 of those ways that he's going to win the fight by knockout would be in the counter punching game, having Augusto Sakai move forward and him walk right into a right cross, a left hook, or one of those type of things. But Augusto Sakai right here with 15 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. You go way down here. A lot of finishes as well, with 11 knockout wins and 4 decision wins with 0 submission wins. This fight stay on the feet. It's a heavyweight fight. Both guys have a lot of power. The power advantage going to Biggie Boy, of course, but Augusto Sakai needs to pressure the heck out of Jairzinho. Get the fight to the clinch. Elbow, knees to the body, elbow, over and over again. This fight needs to be a short distance fight in the clinch, and just kind of close the distance and let a lot of good shots in the clinch as well. That's the main way I see Augusto winning the fight. I think if Augusto wins the fight, I actually think it would be by decision. If Jairzinho wins a fight, it would be when Augusto is moving forward, he lands a big right hook, a big left hook, one of those type of things, but overall, it should be a really good heavyweight fight. The betting odds are really close at -105 and -120. I do have Jairzinho Rozenstruik winning the fight. I think Augusto Sakai is going to move forward a little bit too fast, a little bit unconsciously kind of going out there, getting the fight to the clinch a little bit too fast. Jairzinho is going to go out there and counter with a big right hook, big overhand with an uppercut, with a left hook. There's so many options for Jairzinho to kind of attempt to get the knockout right here, but whatever the case may be, I think Jairzinho Rozenstruik will land a big counter punch. Whatever the punch will be, if it's a right hook, if it's a left hook, if it's an uppercut, whatever the case may be, he's going to land a big counter punch as Augusto is moving forward. And I think that will be enough to get a knockout or TKO win in the first or second round right there. That fight's 100% going to be a finish in my opinion, but my prediction for the main event, Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Augusto Sakai, will be Jairzinho Rozenstruik winning the fight by KO or TKO in the first or second round right there. Should be a really good fight in the heavyweight division right there. But yeah, that's my full card prediction. 14 fights on the entire fight card. I got Jairzinho Rozenstruik winning his fight, Marcin Tybura winning his fight, Loreno Sarapoli winning his fight, Miguel Baeza winning his fight, Gregory Rodriguez winning his fight, Tom Breeze winning his fight, Mako Americani winning his fight, Montana De La Rosa winning her fight, Tanner Boser winning his fight, Muslim Salikov winning his fight, Mason Jones winning his fight, Manny Fiorot winning her fight, Sean Woodson winning his fight, and Jordan Levitt winning his fight. Thank you guys for tuning into the video right now. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, everything like that. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. But thank you guys for watching the video, everything like that, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.